Today we are going to be doing a review slash initial impressions of the PSS boxing gloves, okay? So PSS Boxing is a manufacturer, it's a brand that manufactures gloves in, I believe, Pakistan, but they ship out of the UK, if I'm understanding correctly. Please don't quote me on that. However, their big thing right now is that they are essentially selling winning, high quality winning molds, if that makes sense. So they're not selling replicas, they're not selling a glove with the winning logo on it, but they're selling their own brand, right, that you can customize. It just happens to be the same mold as the winning glove, or so they claim, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today. So since I'm a little rusty on glove reviews, it's been I think 3 months since I've made one. It's just very busy, as I'm sure everybody is, right? I'm just going to go over price, quality, comfort. I'm sorry, let me restart that. Appearance, price, quality, and then rating. Okay, that's what I'm going to do as the initial impression of these. And then I'm just going to give you a short comparison of the real winning gloves compared to these, PSS Boxing winning, I don't want to say clones, but I guess just competitor, right? They just claim to be similar to winning, okay? So I'm going to get right off the bat. I'm going to go straight into just showing you what the gloves look like. So I'm going to show you an authentic pair of winning gloves here. You can go ahead and zoom into that if you like. As a matter of fact, let me just get close up to the camera to do you justice so you can see exactly what I'm looking at here. So we have the authentic winning glove right here. This is the palm side of it right here. As you can see inside the glove, we got that navy blue liner, right? Laces, tips cut off. They always send their gloves without lace tips. They just happen to fray. This is very normal among winning gloves, right? The well-known 16-ounce label right there, right? That started a lot of brands putting their 16-ounce right there. This is the thumb side of it. This is the back side of it, right? This is the other side. And now, next to it, I am going to show you the PSS boxing glove. As a matter of fact, let me show you the same hand just for the sake of comparison, right? Thumb side here. Palm side here. Inside liner. Inside liner. Right? Other side. Okay, and then the back again. All right, so let me go ahead and sit down because there's a few things I want to touch on this that a lot of you may find very interesting. So I'm going to get right off the bat with something that's been happening with PSS Boxing. I've been seeing on a Reddit thread very lately that their quality is not good. So I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion. I paid for a full set of this. I have the headgear, the cup. I paid for this with my own money. They didn't ask me to give you a review or anything like that. This is just something I'm making because I like to make reviews. Right off the bat, this is about 90% of this. And to say that sounds a little crazy because it's been years and years that people have been making winning replicas or winning clones or winning lookalikes. And I think for the first time, this is actually something that is right there. Now, it is not 100% of this. I'll tell you the differences here in a second. This is about 90% of that. And I think that's pretty crazy, but let's get into it. The appearance, all right? So you have the obvious, winning kind of shape that they were going for. The palm looks very similar. The 16-ounce looks very similar, although I will say just a little crooked, right? The font is almost the same, just a little skinnier and crooked. But again, they have to do something that separates them from the actual winning gloves. The quality of leather is actually super nice. It's a thick layer of leather. They're not just kind of skimping out on the leather here, and that's one thing I will say about PSS Boxing. They're very generous with their leather, which I really like, to be honest. I like the kind of wrinkly look on gloves, giving it that worn, authentic leather look that just shows you've put in time into the glove, right? Versus if a glove comes in like super brand new and it never really changes, it's not a bad thing, but I just personally like the look of this a lot more, the leather creasing and everything like that, right? So I think in terms of appearance, the pink, this is just the dream set that I have always wanted. I always wanted, when I first started learning about gear and stuff like that, a pink winning set was like my dream, man. Like, that's so nice. It looks so sick. And to be honest, now that I have this, that has kind of been satisfied for me, right? Like, I've never been a person that wants the original, authentic thing. Like, I'm the kind of person that if you can give me, I don't know, like a $50 shoe, if it looks the exact same as a $300 shoe, fits almost the same way, I'm happy with the $50 shoe, right? It's not a big problem to me. So this kind of made me really happy when I got it, because it's almost the dream set that I always wanted. Now, the key differences between this and this glove, right, in terms of, again, appearance, the lace. This one comes with lace tips. Authentic Winnings do not. For a 16 ounce, this is slightly, and you can see slightly bigger than the Authentic Winning pairs. Now, from what I know about PSS Boxing, this is like their second, I guess, drop or a mold of the Winning glove, because I know they had one before, right? And they just updated it to this one. So from what I recognize, just looking at the visuals of PSS Boxing and their old gloves, they were a little bit smaller, more compact. Personally, I wish they kept my order that way, because I like smaller gloves, more compact gloves. I feel like they fit a little better. But it seems like they updated me to the more, just, I guess, standard size gloves, which in my opinion is a little bit big for a Winning clone. As you can see, it's about, maybe, it's not that much bigger, but it is bigger, right? Like, especially when you wear it on your hands, you can feel that the wrist cuff is almost about a quarter to half an inch longer than the Authentic Winning. Now, again, it's just a good looking glove. Pink, you can't really go wrong with it. It looks super, super nice. I'm very, very happy with the look of it. It says Ant-Man on it. You know, that's my little nickname. It's just sick. I really am happy with the appearance of this glove. Now, as for the price, I believe these gloves retail at $200 with a 6 to 8 week turnaround time, since all of these currently are made to order, meaning they don't just have like a blue or a pink or a white that you can just order and it'll get to your house in like 2 weeks or so. Like, all of the gloves that you order from PSS Boxing, to my knowledge, are custom order only, right? It's not like a Winning, you can just go buy whatever color you want, right? But I believe, if I recall correctly, they're about $200 when you consider shipping from a place like Pakistan, and then if you pay taxes or anything like that, you're looking at around like 220, 240 bucks, in that range for this glove, okay? Now, I did get a full set, so it was a little more cost effective to just get the full set in terms of shipping, since they would all be coming from the same place anyways. And I'll do a separate review on that later, but today I just wanted to focus on the gloves. Again, my rust here with reviews is kind of showing, but it's okay. I'm gonna get back into the swing of things. Appearance just looks great. The price, $250. Let's just put it there, 240 bucks, right? Versus now retailing anywhere from minimum $600 for a 16 ounce, all the way up to $1,500 for a 16 ounce, depending where you get it, which I think is freaking nuts. Just, again, you're looking at a guy that would not willingly pay $600 for a boxing glove, and that may change in the future. That may change for a review, but just in terms of enjoyment, I just couldn't see myself doing that, right? Thankfully, I was able to get my hands on a pair of these through a trade, right? Which I'm very happy with. So I got my authentic pair here, you know. But I can't justify going to order a $700 glove, even if it's a pink or the color I've always wanted, right? I just can't. That's just me, right? So for me, this, if you're looking for this, the quality of it, right? This is an amazing price, because again, you're getting 90% of this for about anywhere from $400 to $1,000 cheaper with this. Okay, you don't get the logo, you don't get that, and then from what I know, they're not going to do that for you either. They're not willing to put the Winning thing on there for you. I think they've said it in one of their like Instagram posts, because I think they may have troubles or something like that. But price, this is a great price if we're comparing it to this. If we're comparing it as a standalone glove, I'll get into that here in a second, but comparison to this, great price. standalone glove, I think this glove would be way better priced and would sell a lot more at around 150 US dollars. Let me tell you why. With shipping, you're looking at paying maybe 180, 190 bucks, right? So far, I've used this about 2-3 times, am already starting to see quality control issues that I don't think this glove deserves to be in that $200 price range yet. Okay, I think with more time, improvement, and refinement of this glove, I can definitely see this being worth a $200 glove max. I do not think this glove should go into the $250, $300 range. Absolutely not. $200 max. Right now, $150 would be excellent price for this glove. And I hope PSS Boxing maybe takes this advice. And I know they may be thinking, well, how are we going to profit? Here's the thing. With custom gloves, the more you can get out of it out there, the more reviews, the more your brand will be, I guess, exposed to a wider audience, versus when you put it at a higher price range. Again, for the quality that I have received so far, I don't think it's worth that much money. I have used this 2-3 times. You won't be able to see it unless you zoom in, so I'm gonna leave it still right here. Along the thumb side here, the paint is already starting to chip. Again, to me, not a big deal, especially for this. I think if it was another glove, I probably would have been like a little more like, what the heck? But since this is, I guess, the color that I've always wanted, I've always wanted it, I'm just happy to have it, right? But that doesn't mean you can't count this against the quality of it, right? It's starting to peel right here, so I'm sure that's gonna get worse over time. I've used this for 1 sparring session, 2 bag work sessions, 10 plus rounds each, so around 24 rounds of bag work and around 8 rounds of sparring, so a little under 40 rounds total in this glove, right? So enough to be able to form a decent opinion on it in terms of the fit, but the durability, that's still yet to be known. But another thing, the inside liner, right, when I put my finger towards the very end, I feel it starting to come apart at around the fingertips right here, okay? And again, I haven't heavily used the glove enough to be able to destroy it, right? And it's not like I'm not taking care of the glove or anything along those lines, but it is starting to come apart here. Hence, the $150 price range I think would be a little bit better, because I can definitely see someone spending a lot of money on this to bring it into the US and it not lasting a very long time, or maybe tearing, and then you have a big problem with customers being unhappy, which is what I saw on Reddit, which is completely justified. If I paid a lot of money and my gloves like tore, I would be very, very upset, right? So hopefully that gets taken care of for that customer. For my experience, I do think as a standalone glove, this is priced a little too high, right? And that's just my opinion. You can agree or disagree with it, but I just think gloves in general, and if you've seen my videos, you've seen that I say this all the time. Crap is way too expensive now. $700 for this? No, never. $1,000? No, never. Freaking, I don't know. Canelo boxing gloves, $450, $500. Get the frick out of here. That's freaking crazy, dude. Those gloves are worth $100 max. At least the quality they were making before. I don't know what the quality is now, right? So I can always retract that statement. But this should be worth $150. For that price, this is good. This is real good, because you're basically getting a winning glove at $150, $180 with shipping, right? And the only differences between this glove and the winning glove are, number one, the liner feels a little different on the back side of the wrist. So back here. Okay, winning, man, they have their liner locked in. It is so tight and it doesn't tear. It is so tight. You have no sag inside of a winning glove in this back fist area. No sag near the finger compartments. No fingers getting caught on the liner. That's on the authentic winning glove. It's just so tight. It's pulled so tight, but it doesn't rip. That's the thing. You can put in work in these gloves and the liner doesn't rip. Okay, and I've put in a lot of work sparring in these gloves. The laces are all dirty already. The liner is just still so tight and it doesn't rip. Whereas this glove, the liner in the wrist area is about the same, but in the finger compartment you get that sag. You get that liner starting to come apart here. In the back of the wrist, my fist, sorry, I feel it moving around, right? If I move my hand in there. So it's not as tight, right? The padding, I'd say, to be honest, is a little bit stiffer than the Winning glove, but here's the context. I have not used this glove as much as this, so I can see this definitely opening up. But in terms of like opening up the glove, no, that's about the same. It's about the same, okay? This is not softer or harder than Winning, right? This is just less broken in because this is a newer glove, okay? The thumb shape is slightly different, ever so slightly, okay? But everything else, oh, and this is slightly bigger, okay? Oh, this also, I know I'm just picking apart differences here. Winnings have a natural curve on this little opening here towards the thumb side. This one almost tries to mimic it, but it just doesn't curve enough, and it's a little bit bigger. But that's pretty much it. Everything else, I'm being unbiased again. I don't have anything against Winning. I don't have anything against PSS Boxing. I don't have nothing, any collaboration with Winning or any collaboration with PSS Boxing. None of that. It's just my unbiased opinion. This is 90% of this. And I've seen a lot of people that are saying, oh, you know, it's too good to be true. There's no way. Again, this is just my opinion. You can disagree, but this is pretty much the same thing, right? If you handed 90% of people this glove and you told them, hey, here's your pair of Winnings, they'd be like, bro, no way, like finally, and they wouldn't be able to tell, right? You can probably hand a professional boxer that's trained in Winnings maybe his whole life, and he'd probably look at it a couple times, he wouldn't be able to tell right away is what I'm saying. Like he'd probably have to really like look at it, like feel it, like something's a little different, but at the same time, it's almost so similar. Like, is this a new model? That's probably what they would think to themselves, right? Because it is that close, right? So, again, standalone, currently, I don't think it's worth that price they have it at. Compared to Winning, 100%. Like, if you're looking for this, if the quality holds up, if the durability holds up, this is way better than this in terms of price, right? Like if you've got kids to feed, family, and you just always wanted your Winning glove, but you're not willing to dish out $700, $1,000, I could see this being a good replacement for you. Okay. In terms of the comfort, if you've tried on a Winning glove, this is pretty much it. It's the same thing. Very, very comfortable. I'd say the only thing that's uncomfortable is just that liner for me ripping at or starting to open near the fingers. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. I don't have any issues with the thumb. I've never really had any thumb issues with any glove. The wrist tight, when you lace it up, it feels super, super nice. The padding breaks in around the wrist right there, so it starts to like give you that puffy glove look. As you can see, you can open it up really nice. Personally, I love that. Again, comfort, you get no downsides from me except the liner ripping and maybe being a little saggy. That's pretty much it. In terms of the quality, again, the quality of materials they use is good. I just don't think they've mastered the stitching like Winning has and the liner like Winning has, right? Because if the liner's starting to come apart, the paint is starting to come apart, I think those areas could use improvement, but on its own, it is a good quality glove, if that makes sense. Like you're not getting an Everlast like Power Lock 2 type quality, which that is good for its price range, right? You're not getting a Walmart, a Dick's Sporting Good training glove for this price that you're paying, right? You are landing somewhere underneath Rival in terms of quality and a little bit above or on the level of Title Promex with this glove, okay? So that's where I'd say in terms of quality, you're like in between a Promex and a Rival glove, which I know I say that, and then a lot of you may be like, bro, that's like almost every glove. But a lot of you don't really understand how good of a quality Promex is. Promex is really, really good quality for that price range of $100. Rarely do you see any issues with that glove. People love it. It's been time tested for 5+ years, almost 7+ years, just very good leather quality, super, super comfortable and compact, right? So this is almost on that level, maybe a little bit above, just a tiny bit. It gives you that kind of like Winning feel because of that, right? But it's not as sturdy as a Rival glove, right? And I'm talking about like when Rival is on, they're on, but when they have quality control issues, they're really bad, right? But let's say like a Rival RS1, which is synthetic leather, right? But what's a leather glove? Like the HDEF. Whenever those gloves are on in terms of quality, like those are super freaking good, man. Super sturdy. Rarely do you see any tears on those unless you treat them bad. You don't clean them right. You don't take the time to open the glove up and air them out right. you rarely see any issues with the HDEF rivals. Those are super freaking good, man. So I'd say this is in that, under that rival, but around that Pro Mix, a little bit higher, right? So that's the quality of it. If I had to give it an overall rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is, and again, most of my gloves fall in this range, so don't be upset. This is maybe like a 7.75. Most of the gloves that I've rated are 7.5, maybe a 7, sometimes a 6. This is at that 7.5 because you're almost there to making a perfect clone of this, right? You're almost there, but you're not quite there yet, and the issues show. Okay, so I'd say that's where you're getting, that's what you're getting with these. And one day I'm gonna have to put all my gloves, you know, and just rate them section by section. But that's what my opinion is on this, and hopefully you don't think that's a crazy opinion. I mean, it's just my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and move this table real quick, and then I'm just gonna hit the bag a little bit. One glove with the winning, one glove with this hand, so you can see exactly what that looks like. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end off this video. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I decided instead of moving that table, because I'm gonna film another review right now, side by side right here, high guard right there, bum, 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 bum. As you can see, has a very similar profile, right? Very, very similar. Again, the untrained eye wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Okay, so let's go. Let's hit the bag a bit. Give myself some space. Again, for the price, very, very close. Scary close. Very scary close that someone's getting that close to getting a perfect winning glove. So that said, guys, that has been my short little first impressions on PSS Boxing and their winning clone that they're kind of working towards. Let me know your opinion. Have you tried PSS Boxing? Are you going to try them? Do you think those gloves are crap? Just let me know your opinions down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching my video again. I know it's been a while. I know I've been rusty, but I'm hoping to get more videos out and get that practice again, speaking into the mic and reviewing gloves. Have a wonderful day, guys.